All right, let's start this all over because I forgot what I was saying. I paused it for so long. I hope you're having a good day. I hope you've had a good week, and I hope you are going to have a good weekend. Um, wish nothing but the best for everybody. I'm on a load right now, going from Tulsa to Salisbury, North Carolina, that pays really well. It's $4,700 for about 1,000 miles. I don't make 4,700. I get 65% of the 4,700 plus 100% of the fuel surcharge, which is 200. And that comes out to roughly $3,200 that I'm going to make on the load. Full, like that's my total gross to the truck. Then there's going to be fuel cost and stuff like that come out of my weekly settlement. Insurance, all kinds of things. Um, so that is a really good load. That is an amazing load. This other load that I'm taking to get the hell out of Virginia is a mediocre load at best. It's like 1,200 miles, and it's paying $2,400. It's a $2 a mile load. It's actually a pretty crap load. So I only make $1.30 a mile plus fuel surcharge, which is going to be about 10 cents a mile since this is breakthrough fuel. So I'm going to make about $1.40 a mile on this load, which is pretty garbage. That's like really garbage. I don't like running for less than $2 a mile. So I'm going to be making $1.40 a mile on this crap. And the only reason I took it was because it's Friday, and there just weren't any better loads. There's not going to be any loads posted over the weekend. I mean, it's possible, but it's really rare. So it puts me into this position where if I don't snag up that load, like that load is better than anything on here. Actually, no, this one is better. But this one was not on there, and this one doesn't pick up until the 26th. So I'd have to sit around for 2 days for this load. Russellville, Kentucky is a good place to be. What's the deadhead on that? 300-mile deadhead. Holy crap. So I don't even know if that is a better load. But yeah, it's arguable. So the load I ended up getting um, is basically it's taking me back to the house. It's going back to Dallas. I didn't plan it that way. It just so happened that the best load on the board was going back to Dallas. I'm not going to go into Connecticut. I will go into New York State for the right price, but the deep Northeast, it's just everything's negative about it. It's hard to find good paying loads coming out of the Northeast. It's really bad traffic. There's no parking. Hell, I'm just over on the east right now, not even in the Northeast. It's I got here at this pilot at like 3:30 in the afternoon, and there are hardly any spots at this pilot in where the hell am I at? I think I'm in Lebanon, Tennessee. There's a pilot in Lebanon, Tennessee that I'm at right now. Almost no spots in it at all. I mean, there are spots right here, but right now there are spots, but like one or two spots. That's it. There's just a couple of spots. It's almost completely full here at 3:30 in the afternoon. I haven't looked out in the last hour to see if there are any spots left now, but I mean we're approaching 5 p.m. now, and the parking lot is probably full. This is and this isn't even in the deep Northeast. So, yeah, this is pretty crap. Not really thrilled with this Roanoke, Texas load. Roanoke is North Texas. There are typically some good loads coming out of Roanoke. It's one of those Procter and Gamble distribution centers, but the Procter and Gamble loads have been paying garbage lately. For a long time, all I hauled was Procter and Gamble, and because they were the best paying stuff on the load board. And then Procter and Gamble fell off and started paying lower rates, and Chewy.com popped up. And so then I've been hauling almost exclusively Chewy.com loads. And now the Chewy.com loads are starting to fall off. It's not looking good uh, on USA Trucks load board right now. because the rates are just plummeting on all of the good playing on all of the good paying accounts. Uh, this Mount Pleasant right here, these two Mount Pleasant loads, these are both Chewy.com loads, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Mid-America Pet Food going to Chewy.com. New business, get with Hannah. Hannah runs the Chewy account. This Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, out of Mount Pleasant, another Chewy.com. This EFC3, that's the Chewy.com fulfillment center. Get with Hannah, new business. I hauled a Tulsa to Mechanicsburg that was roughly the same mileage as this, a little less actually. It paid $5,700  2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and she's listing this for $2,800. This $2 a mile bullshit. This just shows you how much these brokers have on these loads and how big of a cut they're taking. Hannah was perfectly fine with taking a reasonable cut off these loads when she was listing them for $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, and now she's listing them at $1,500, $2,000, $3,000, just like half what she was paying on these loads just a couple weeks ago. And I guarantee you the shippers are not paying half within 2 weeks. So somebody's making a lot of money, and I don't like making other people rich. If somebody else is going to make a lot of money alongside me, that's one thing. But I'm not going to sit here and run my ass off to make somebody else rich. It just pisses me off to see this cheap freight on the board. Cannot wait to get on with Landstar. We've got it's almost November right now. I've got November, December, January, February. I've got actually it's not even all of February, it's the beginning of February. So all of November, all of December, all of January. I've got 3 months left before I can apply at Landstar. It's just right around the corner. I need to stack some cash though, because I heard their inspection to get your truck leased on is really in depth, so I need to stack up quite a bit of money for whatever they may require of me to get fixed. They may not allow me to have a check engine light, which is going to cost me $1,500 to get the sensor replaced so that my check engine light goes away. So, I mean, I've got the money to do that, and I can't think of anything else that really needs to be repaired on the truck. Otherwise, I'd get it repaired. But truck is in fairly tip-top shape as far as I know, but who knows what they may find. I heard that they're really, really in-depth. Everyone that's ever talked about it, getting their truck on with Landstar, that's talked about the initial inspection, has said, they didn't know that they had any problems with their truck, and the mechanic found a whole bunch of stuff, all their brake chambers had minor leaks on them and stuff like that. I hope that I don't have any issues with my truck. So we'll find out. So what's going on with me? Let me pause this for a second before I start talking about what's going on with me. Took the last couple of bites of my dirty rice. Finished off my my microwave, my leftovers. I made a big this big thing is full of dirty rice, and I just take some out, put it in the bowl, microwave it, and that's what I eat. I make a big thing of either Hamburger Helper or dirty rice or something when I'm at the house, and that's what I grub on for the first week that I'm out. And then I've either eaten it all or it needs to be tossed out as it's starting to get old. So what's going on with me? My week's been up and down. I Oh my goodness, the fan belt broke on the APU a couple weeks ago. I put it into the dealer. I stopped by a Carrier dealer in Virginia, paid them to replace the fan belt, and I immediately had an oil leak after that. So I stopped using the APU again, put it in the shop at Big Rig Product in Oklahoma City, told them I had an oil leak. They didn't really do any troubleshooting. They said, oh, that's got to be the front main seal. Okay. Are you sure? Do you want me to turn it on so you can look at it and see where it's coming from? No, no, no. I'm absolutely 100% positive it's the front main seal. All right, you're the mechanic. So they replaced the front main seal. They didn't do it for free. I paid $250 for them to do that, and that was at their discount price. Um, that did not fix the oil leak. I still had the exact same oil leak when they finished, and I had a brand new fuel leak. I almost always have a fuel leak when I get work done at Big Rig Product. I don't know why, but they always pull on my fuel line. And where the fuel line connects to the fuel tank, there's a clamp holding it on, and when they pull on it, it rips and tears the fuel line at that clamp. So you have to remove the clamp, cut that bad part of the fuel line off the end of it, put it back on, and clamp it again. And then they pull on it, and you have to cut some more off. Well, it's to the point now that whenever they cause this fuel leak, I knew what the cause was. I knew how to fix it, so I spent like 45 minutes um, pulling the hose off, cutting it, and putting it back on. And I almost couldn't get it put back on because there was not enough line left on the fuel line. I had to stretch the fuel line. Like I had to get the fuel line with one hand and pull it as hard as I could to stretch the fuel line, and then with my other hand, and this is like in between the cab and the fuel tank, is a pain in the ass to get up in there, and I had to like stretch the line with one hand and then use the other hand to put it on there and then tighten up the clamp while it was stretched. So when I let go of it, it was still under tension. You can't drive around like that. The truck moves, everything shifts a little bit, it vibrates, and it's going to cause rubbing on that line. It's going to cause the line to tear. It's going to cause all kinds of problems. So that was a very temporary fix. So after I got loaded in Tulsa, I stopped by W&B, a Carrier dealer in Tulsa, and asked them to take a look, find out what's wrong with the oil leak. And I told them to replace the fuel line. And I explained to them, just like I explained to you, why. Big Rig Products keeps ripping the damn thing and cutting it off. It took them 2 hours to rerun the fuel line. They said whoever installed that fuel line did it really weird, and it was a major pain in the ass to get the old line out because of the way it was run. They had to like loosen up some bolts on the engine and stuff. I think it was run underneath the engine or something weird. But guess who did that? Big Rig Product. They just installed that engine for me a couple weeks ago, like 3 weeks ago. I'm starting to lose trust in Big Rig Product. I'm finding out from other mechanics that they're like completely half-assing a bunch of stuff and doing things wrong. So it cost me $280 for 2 hours at $140 an hour of labor for them to replace that fuel line. I don't even know if they charged me for the line itself. The oil leak ended up being something incredibly simple. Whenever you replace the fan belt, you have to remove the shroud for the fan because you have to be able to put the belt over that area, and to put the belt over it, you have to take the shroud out. Well, that shroud bolts into the engine. One of the bolts that holds the shroud on is also an oil plug. And I can't remember the specifics. They explained to me what the idiots did. I think what they said was the plug that was supposed to go in this one particular spot, they put it in another spot, and the other bolts won't fit in the plug spot, so they just didn't put anything in the plug spot. So it was just the place where there was supposed to be a plug was just wide open and oil was squirting out of there. They didn't even. They said they didn't even charge me anything to fix that. They didn't even charge me for the bolt. Nothing. So almost all the cost was in replacing that fuel line, and then I also bought a diffuser. The air vents, Carrier calls them diffusers. One of my vents, the previous person who had this truck before me, previous driver or owner, ripped the fins out or removed the fins or broke them inside the vent. Uh, so one of my vents is just wide open. You can't redirect air from it or anything. So I don't know how much they charged me for that. The total bill was $377, taxes and everything. So yeah, but I've run the APU for probably 16 hours since then, and no leaks that I've seen and no issues that I've noticed. Um, it seems to be working properly now. There are some minor things with the control unit that I still need to, test on and stuff. Like the battery monitor doesn't kick on at the correct voltage for some reason, but the battery monitor does kick on. I need to do more testing. Maybe it has a delay on the start on it or something, or it'll only run for a certain number of hours. I don't know what it is, but I turned it down to kick on at a really high voltage. I upped the voltage to have it kick on at, and it started running all the time. It was kicking on all the time. So I just need to figure out what voltage to set it to, because it doesn't trigger on the actual voltage that you program it to. The old unit with the old control unit, it would the battery monitor worked properly on that one. So I might just need to. It's like a couple $100, I think, for one of those. So I might just go down to the dealer and just pay them for a brand new control unit for my unit, because the control units are different for each unit. You have to use specific control units. That was one of the problems I had when they replaced the engine. Is they put the wrong control unit in it, and it just gave an oil error, and it wouldn't run for more than 2 minutes. So I need to get the number off of this one and take it in there and just put a brand new one in this. And that's something I can replace myself. I probably won't bother replacing it myself. What I'll probably do is, because it's only one bolt, it's just it. There are like two connectors that go into it, and it's held in by one bolt. Um, what I'll probably do is the next PM that I get done, I'll just ask them if they wouldn't mind swapping out the ECM while they're doing the preventative maintenance, and they'll probably be like, "Oh yeah, no problem, no problem. We'll go ahead and do that," because I'm going to be paying. On my PMs from now on. I'm going to get the truck and the APU done at the same time every time, and that the truck PM cost me like $320. The APU PM was 75. But they didn't replace the inline fuel filter. I'm going to tell them to replace that next time. And yeah, so that's what I'll probably do. I'll probably just wait till the next PM and replace the ECM with a brand new one. Because this one's acting kind of weird on some stuff. There's multiple things that it acts kind of weird on. But yeah, I hope that the APU is finally fixed now. I'm getting tired of all the putting it into the shop constantly, and all the wasted fuel. I probably save easily $100 or $200 in fuel per week using the APU because it's really expensive to idle the truck. Um, it's at least a gallon an hour. I think it might average higher than a gallon an hour. I think it might average out to like a gallon and a half per hour. Because just idling it over the weekend, whenever I was in Mechanicsburg, idling all weekend, it burned almost a half a tank. Just a second. All right, I'm back. So, like, if it was burning a gallon an hour, that would be 24 gallons per day, per 24-hour period. And it was idling nonstop all weekend. And I want to say it burned somewhere between a quarter and a half a tank, which would put it over the 50-gallon mark. It would be like 70 gallons or so that it would probably burned. So I think it's a little more than a gallon per hour. But if it is a gallon per hour, just a gallon per hour, that's 24 gallons per day, which comes out to about $50 a day, $48 per day in fuel. Because I average probably somewhere in the area of $2. Actually, it's probably less than $2 per gallon that I pay for fuel on average. Because whenever I do pay 2 or 2.10 per gallon, that's kind of rare. I usually get it for like $1.80, somewhere between $1.80 and $1.90 a gallon. But we'll just say two. So that's like $48 for every 24-hour period that it's running, and it's probably more than that. Whereas the APU, I don't know how much it burns, but like the 2 days that I sat there at Mechanicsburg when the APU was actually working for those 2 days, I was like almost completely full on fuel. And after 2 days of the APU running nonstop, I was still completely full on fuel. But after I started idling the engine, by the end of like 2 days later of idling the engine, it was down to like 5/8 of a tank. So yeah, it's a lot of fuel, especially when you set for long periods of time. Like I'll set wait on a good load rather than run some cheap crap. I'll set. It's comfortable in this truck. I'll sit here and play video games, watch movies or something before you know, I'm not one of those people that's just like driving the truck for the sake of driving the truck. Ooh, this is a decent load. Was this on here earlier? And this looks like a Kimberly Clark. Hmm. I mean, it's not a great load. There's two things about this load that make it good. One is the rate per mile is decent, but two is it's going to London, Kentucky. That's a pretty good freight market. I think I can make that pickup, but that's going to be a hell of a deadhead. It's like a 300-mile deadhead. Roanoke to Jinx. No, it's is it 263.9. That's a pretty damn big deadhead. I would like to get a better load than that. When is the 26th? That is Monday. That load's not going to stay on there for very long. Where after 5 p.m. there aren't going to be any, like, there are going to be very few loads posted on here from this point forward. So somebody's going to snag that Monday load up. I need to think. pick it up by Monday at midnight. So if I leave Saturday with all of my hours at like 10 p.m., let's say 10 p.m. Saturday until 10 a.m., and then I take a 10-hour break, so that would be 8 p.m. I could be in Roanoke by 3 o'clock in the morning or so, 3 or 4 a.m. probably. Drop that trailer, and I should still have enough hours on my clock to make it most of the way, if not all the way, 263 miles at a 60 mile per hour average. That's 4.5 hours. That'd be cutting it real close, because I think I'm gonna need like 7 hours to get to Roanoke in my second drive shift, and then I'm gonna need 4.5 to get to Tulsa. That'd put me over 11. That mean I'd have to take a 10-hour break. So I make it out of Dallas by like 5 a.m. and I drive for 3 hours. I could pick that up late because they have it listed to be picked up on the 26th between 10 p.m. and midnight. So a 2-hour pickup window. That's just when they expect the trailer to be ready. So I could pick that up. It's a nice light load. Nah, I'm not going to bother with it. It would be too much of a pain in the ass to actually pick it up and deliver it. And once you throw in the deadhead miles, it's a $2 a mile load. It's it's not worth it. Hopefully something better gets posted on Monday. Check something real quick. I wish you could search regions like you can on the Landstar load board, because I'm willing to deadhead long distances to pick up a good load. But the longer I travel to pick up a load, the longer the deadhead, the better the load's got to be. So Spring Hill, Kansas is a place that you can snag up some big loads headed out west. Let's see if they've got any. Sumner, Washington. There's 3 going to Washington. They don't pay that great. Rochester, New York, $3 a mile. That's not really worth it. Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania, paying $3.50 a mile from Lawrence, Kansas. What the hell's in Lawrence? Smucker's account. Yeah, there's some. This Springfield to Mississippi here, $4 a mile. 38,000 Frenches going to Walmart. All right, and now let's check. I think Austin, Texas should get me San Antonio and Houston. Bunch of crap. I need to take a damn shower. I'm starting to feel sticky and icky. I haven't had a shower since I left the house. And immediately after I left the house, I spent that 45 minutes fixing the fuel line, and I got greasy and sweaty within the first hour of leaving the house. Like right after I got out of the shower, I got greasy and sweaty replacing that damn thing, and I haven't had a shower since then. If I were at a TA or a Petro right now, or if I had Flying J points, I'm just too damn cheap to pay for a shower. Like, I'm not that desperate for a shower. I would like a shower, but I'm not that desperate for a shower. So, when will I probably take a shower? What I will probably do is um, I'm going to do my next drive shift. I'm going to start at about 10:30 p.m. tonight. And it's going to take me about 6 hours to get to my destination, so that would be about 4 a.m. I'm going to drop and hook, and then I'm going to immediately go to my next destination, which is about 3 hours away, and I'm going to drop and hook there, and then I'm going to drive to the TA in Lexington, Virginia, and I'm going to camp out there. And that's where I'm going to take a shower, is the TA in Lexington, Virginia. So at the end of my next drive shift is when I'm going to take a shower. That is the plan. I'm quite certain I have enough time on my clock to do all that. So, and I'm going to camp out there, take my 10, and then take off, heading to Dallas from there. It's just going to be 81 down to 40, and then 40 to 30, and then 30 to Dallas. And that's pretty much the exact same thing I did last week, because when I left Pennsylvania, Mechanicsburg, Carlisle, Pennsylvania, I went 81 out of Carlisle and took 81 all the way down to 40, and then 40 all the way to my house. So I took 40 all the way to Oklahoma City. This time at Little Rock, I'm going to hop onto the 30 to go down to Dallas. And then I might maybe go drive up to my house after delivering this load in Dallas, or hopefully I find a good load Monday. And right now, man, I'm willing to go anywhere. With my APU working, everything seems to be in order. I don't really have any reason I need to be at the house. I'm willing to go just about anywhere right now. Like, if there's a good load going to the LA market, then I'll head over there. Let's see if there are any good loads coming out of the Los Angeles market. Because the LA market was pretty crap for the last month or so. Chino to Aberdeen, Maryland. I thought Chino was in Northern California. Oh, I'm thinking of Chico. Chico is what I'm thinking of. That's way up north. Chino, California. I don't know where exactly Chino's at. This Katy, Texas load is some cheap crap. Would I be willing to take that coast-to-coast run to Aberdeen, Maryland for $86.50? Would I be willing to do that? I don't know. It's the Clorox account. Let me see, what is this rate per mile break down to? Oh no, the wrong thing. I clicked on calendar instead of calculator. So it's that's that's 3.30 a mile. $3 and almost 31 cents a mile. The full line haul rate. Let me see. That picks up on the 23rd today, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. So they didn't get that covered. That was not covered. Nobody was willing to pick that load up. Damn, no one was willing to pick that load up. $3.30 a mile. Holy shit. That's actually really damn good. $3.30 a mile. Yeah, I would definitely take that to Aberdeen, Maryland. Let's see how much I would make on that. So 86.50 times 0.65, that's 5,622.50. And then the fuel surcharge would be 20. Wait. So 56.22.50, and then we will add. It's going to be $261.50 fuel surcharge because it's 10 cents per mile. What the shit? There. $5,884 is what I would make on that load. It would take almost all week, about 5 days. The 23rd through the 28th for $5,800. That's solid. For USA Trucks load board, that is a really, really, really good load. The only problem is that it's going to put you into the Northeast. It's going to put you up there, pretty much past Pennsylvania. Aberdeen, Maryland is not very far from Mechanicsburg and Wilkes-Barre and all those other places in eastern Pennsylvania that I've delivered to. Aberdeen, Maryland is not very far from those places. I almost went and picked up a load out of Aberdeen, Maryland while I was up in Pennsylvania, but they what was it? It picked up earlier than I could get there. So right here's Carlisle, Mechanicsburg. Here's York. Wilkes-Barre. Where the hell is Wilkes-Barre? Wilkes-Barre should be like right up in here somewhere. Oh no, it's all right up in here. I knew it was on 81 and north of the interstate, but it's north of 80, not 78. So there's Wilkes-Barre. Wilkes-Barre, Mechanicsburg, and York are 3 locations I've delivered to in Pennsylvania recently. And last time I was in Mechanicsburg, I almost got a load out of Aberdeen going to Rogers, Arkansas. That was paying like, I forget how much. It was a pretty good load. Not amazing, but it was decent. Actually, no, I think it was amazing. It was paying like $4,500 to go about 1,200 miles to Rogers, Arkansas. I was like, hell yeah, Rogers, Arkansas is not very far from my house. But what I would do is I would drive down 83 and then take the 695 around Baltimore and then come back up the 95 over to Aberdeen. That is most likely the route that I would take to get there. And from Pennsylvania at least. But coming all the way from California, shit. Coming all the way from California, what I would most likely be doing is I'd be taking 40 out of California, and then I would hit the 81 right here, and I would try to bypass Baltimore and Washington, and I'd probably take the 81 all the way over to Hagerstown, and then take the 70 down to Baltimore, and then the 695, and then the 95. That's probably what I'd do, unless I could drive through Baltimore in the middle of the night. Then I might drive right through the damn middle of Baltimore. I've never been in the metro of Baltimore and Washington. I've never been in Philadelphia that I know of, that I can remember, or New York. These four major cities right here, I've never been in any of those that I can remember. But anyway, yeah, that's a really good load. If I was in California right now, I would snag that up. Let's take a look at Northern California. You got to be really careful with Northern California right now, because if you get a load going to Northern California, it's going to be going across 80. Like if you grab a load over here in the east, headed west to Northern California, that load is most likely going to be going across 80. And 80 is a nasty, nasty interstate in the winter. You're going to be going across Wyoming. You're going to be going across Donner. Like there's so many mountainous areas that have really bad snow that I would be really, 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 really hesitant to take a load across um, on 80 right now, anytime in the winter. Yeah, these loads are okay. They're not amazing. This one right here is a pretty damn good load, but we don't have anything on the market in Boise, Idaho. You're gonna have to deadhead 1,000 miles to find a load out of Boise on USA Trucks load board, most likely. Yeah, nothing too amazing. I can't believe that they did not get that Aberdeen, Maryland load covered. I know that Landstar's load board is just littered with $8,000 loads in the Los Angeles market. Ryan with the YouTube channel Ryan and Sophia, he was scrolling through looking at, I think it was him, that was scrolling through looking at the LA market, and it was just a whole bunch of really expensive loads, but most of them were round trip loads that were paying like 14, 15 $1,000, and they weren't really paying that well because it was round trip. It was going to like Maryland and then grabbing something out of Maryland and then coming back. So you were doing the trip twice, and it was paying like $14,000. So it was paying you like $7,000 both ways. Um, I don't know, maybe that would be worth it because like the Northeast is a really bad freight market. So once you average the two together, they came out really well. But I don't know. I don't know. I think it's amazing to have options like that on the load board. Unfortunately, USA Truck doesn't have like those $50,000 1 month dedicated accounts and stuff like that that you can get on Landstar's load board. Yeah, I'm surprised that thing didn't get covered. I wouldn't mind, grabbing that load. If I were in LA, I would snag that bitch up. Pretty much driving across country on I-40. All right, so I think that's about it. I need to get to bed pretty soon. So, thanks for watching, and best of luck to everyone and everybody and all the stuff and the good things. And let's check Roanoke one last time to see if there are any Roanoke last minute loads, because some people will stay until like 5:30, 6 o'clock at night posting loads. Well, if there are any good loads, I'm not seeing them, or if there's any new loads, they're not good ones. But alright, I think that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. And any last words? Any last words? Good luck to Truck Hustlin' Rookie. He bailed on us over here at USA Truck, and he found a local job hauling trash, and he's finally living his dream of being a trash man. Just playing. He is hauling trash though. He is a trash man. So he's loving it. The money is what he was wanting. The home time is what he was wanting, and it is he's paid by the load, so it's a performance-based pay system. And I hope he's able to make the amount of money that they told him he could make. So I hope it all works out for him. He's really excited and really happy for it, and I'm happy for him, and I wish him nothing but the best. A couple other YouTubers, let's say Chad Rich. He quit Prime and got a local job with KLLM, and he just recently quit and went back over the road. Well, I think GP Transco is who he's driving for now. Best of luck to Chad. I hope he enjoys going back out over the road again. Many successes upon him. Coragee, Coragee. He had a really rough year in trucking. He started with Prime, basically got fired after he completed training. He was given an ultimatum, either redo all of training or go find another job, and he chose to go find another job. And it was because he had a bunch of critical events, like hard braking, taking turns too sharp, stuff like that. Um, he got on with Maverick. They had to let him go because of preventables. They said they couldn't insure him anymore. Then he got on with Western Express. It was the only company that would hire him. And he ran a truck off the road at Western Express and got fired from them. And he said that he was done with trucking. That was it. That was the end of his career because he had so much shit on his record. He had to wait at least 3 years for something to fall off before he could get hired anywhere. And a few months later, he just posted a video last week or the week before saying that he's got a trucking job and he's going to be making trucking videos again. So we'll see how that. Like, I'm surprised anybody was able to insure him. So I hope that he does better this time. I wish him the best. Good luck to him. There was one other person I follow on YouTube that had a big announcement recently. There was Truck Hustling Rookie, quit and got a new job. Chad Rich went back out over the road. Karaji got back into trucking. And there was one more that I cannot remember. Let me pause this for a second and look through my subscriptions. Aha! I found it. Trucker Al. Trucker Al has quit and been rehired to Crete like I don't know how many times. He claims he's only been, quit and rehired like once or twice because he says all the other times it happened, they hadn't actually processed him out yet, so he wasn't technically like rehired. He just like quit and then he changed his mind before they were able to process, him out of the company. So technically he's only quit and been rehired like once or twice, but it's more like 4 or 5 times. So he was living the retired life not too long ago, and he just posted a video a few weeks ago saying that he has decided to go back out and drive again. So he's driving for Crete again, and a salesperson at Crete has talked him into becoming an owner-operator at Crete, and they told him that he can make more money on Crete's flat rate per mile than he could at Prime because he was wanting to become an owner-operator at Prime. And some salesperson at Crete talked him into becoming an owner-operator over at Crete. So right now, he's a company driver, but he's planning on becoming an owner-operator at Crete, and I don't think he can make more money at Crete than getting paid percentage over at Prime. Even though I've heard recently that Prime's freight is kind of garbage. There was somebody, Trucker Jukebox is a sublease at Prime, and he was talking about how he had a breakdown that cost him a couple $1,000s, like $3,000, and he said it was going to take him a month or something to recover from that. And I was like, he was talking about how little he makes and everything over there at Prime, how little the loads pay and stuff. I'm like, damn. I can recoup $3,000 in a week. So I thought Prime paid really well. I thought they got good rates on their loads. I thought that their drivers averaged like $1.85 a mile or something like that. Like I average way more than $1.85 a mile, but it's because the freight market is at all-time highs right now, and several reasons that I average more than $1.85 a mile right now. But the $1.85 a mile was like during normal freight market. I thought that that's how much Prime drivers averaged, was somewhere in that ballpark of about $1.85 a mile. But that does not appear to be the case. So somebody said that Prime has a lot of cheap freight that they haul. So you're getting 70% of some really cheap shit apparently at Prime. I thought they paid better than that. So Prime was already like not a very good company in my opinion, but if that's the case, if they're paying their owner operators crap, then I feel really really bad for them because I thought that they were at least making good money, but that does not appear to be the case. So that really sucks. So anyway, I wish the best for all of them. Trucker Jukebox almost shut down his YouTube channel because he just got tired of the drama, and his best friend. Come to find out, his best friend was just using him to boost his YouTube numbers and his YouTube presence. And whenever Trucker Jukebox started talking about, shutting his channel down and stuff like that, um, his friend, his supposed friend, showed his true self and got really pissed off because Trucker Jukebox didn't run some advertisements, basically trying to drive traffic over to that other guy's channel. And he went in and like deleted his website. He had access to his website and his email. Trucker Jukebox really trusted this guy and gave him the passwords to everything. And the guy went in and just like tried to destroy all of his social media stuff. And it was really fucked up. Somebody that Trucker Jukebox thought was like his best friend and trusted him with like a whole bunch of personal stuff because it was his best friend. And turns out the guy was just using him, and is just an absolute worthless piece of crap. So, anyway, I think Trucker Jukebox has comments disabled on his videos now because he had so many trolls. But if he doesn't have comments disabled, then man, go over there and share the love with that guy because he wears his heart on his sleeve. He's a really good guy that'd probably give anybody the shirt off his back to help him. And he just has a lot of negative people around him. So, good vibes over to Trucker Jukebox. Wish that guy the best, and hope things get better for him. Hope things get better for everybody. May all of the good rates fall upon us. $10 mile loads for everybody. But anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye.